very early part of my new chapter of life here, my biggest challenge was too much thinking, too much thoughts just occurred to me. So many, all different anxiety and too much thoughts, which is not very essential, but you cannot help. Just something just keep recurring to me, and then it was very distracting, and you thought over so many things, and like not very focused. Everything it just occurred to me. All the bad memory, all anxiety, all kind of doubt for the future, all these kind of things just mingle together. It hit me very hard every time, and I basically cannot focus on one train of thoughts, and then it never gone away. It just all the time stay with me, and it made me very distracted. And at the end of the day, I was mentally very exhausted, on top of physically very burned out, right? And it repeat like every single day, and the mental drained out for the meaningless ideas, thoughts, and the distraction made me couldn't stay one stable mindset. At that time, I really wanted to do something about it. Otherwise, I cannot, like, overcome the depressional feeling. And then I, one day, I finally decided I want to choose one thing which I really feel decent about it, which I feel really great about it. Right? There was English since my students' days, and then I picked up all the different English materials from various areas. Right, whatever that time interests me, I just picked up and purchased through online stores. And fortunately, the cost wasn't so big. I mean, these days hard copy books really cheap, not so much. And then I ordered and read whenever I had some time for myself after finishing my daily routine, physical work, physical chores. Right? And then I get used to it gradually, right? And then later, it I found it was great help to keep my sentiment stable, right? Because I can get away with all the trouble thought, which is so dispersive, not focused, and almost like meaningless anxiety. Whatever you be anxious, whatever you worry about for the future, anything you can do about it, right? Anyway, right now, what you have to do is fill the time daily and every day, just doing something, improve your life, just little by little, something like that, right? And the reading practice really improved my mentality, my sentiment, and I finally become very stable with my sentiment, not relying on some addictive, some things like drinking or other some addictive thoughts and other addictive practices. like phone, internet, game, all this kind of thing. Fortunately, I was not interested in games, online games, all this kind of stuff. So, other if hadn't it been reading English books, maybe I would also fall into the online game, that sort of thing. But myself, I can stay with reading. So I was able to get away with all the enticement of the online games. In hindsight, if I just engross myself in online game, I think by the time of now, I possibly could be in deep trouble. Maybe my personality, my nature is very addictive to something, so I might possibly fall into like online gamble or some not good whatever the trap is. But for me, because of the reading habit, right, really prevent me from those not good habit or some kind of addictions, right? So that part, the reading habit really helps me a lot. Apart from I just got away with all the anxiety and doubts, all mental like breakdown things from the meaningless thinking over those things for the future, right? And then about the reading, my case, I didn't like reading materials about investment, especially finance and investment things, because that time I found all those the materials about some investment or stock, Bitcoin, or this is all so weird or ridiculous way of the investing money, right? All that kind of things, and I didn't like it. I thought it is very manipulative, and then it could drive you into some sort of delusional thoughts. I mean, because you are desperate and you come across some information which which looks very like fabulous or incredible, sort of whatever the secret, something like that, right? You can make great money out of it. All these kind of the illusions. Right? That time I thought I was thinking about my mindset, and of course I'm very desperate for financially recover. I had to make some great deal of money by the time. But because I was so desperate, maybe reading those books regarding some investment, which you never be clear about yourself, I thought it could lead me into some trap or some scam, maybe. Maybe those books are not actually for scam. But the thing is, you are not so clear about what they are talking about, right? Only you rely on your hunch. Maybe this book show you some great secret for you to make big money, and you very easily think you are the first person who get this information by something like that. But most of the case, 9 out of 10, high possibility you are the last person who get to know the information. And then once you get into the market according to the information you acquired from the books, maybe the market or everything so saturated, and you are the person who victimize yourself. You become prey for the earlier those investors or gambler, if you will. That was my thought that time. So I just kept away from those books. In the beginning, actually, I stopped from the reading some essay or some science or the futuristic analysis. What happened was at the beginning it was okay, but the more I read all those books, I became kind of tired. Like, you for especially for the like market trend, science, and the forecast for futuristic world, you got so much information out of it. But at the end of the day, you will find yourself helpless. You cannot do anything about it. You know something is coming, but kind of you cannot do anything about it at this moment. And that kind of feeling doubled up. And then I had some feeling. That feeling just ate me up and mentally very exhausted. So later I just went for just light popular novel and just not any special purpose to learn something from books. I just try to enjoy myself, those fun stories, those light, like, the cheaper or some fantasy things. And it helped my sentiment to spend reading light-hearted and just enjoy the humor from the book or some enjoy the touching stories, all these things. And then one day, my wife asked me, "Do you have any special purpose of studying English things?" I said, "I'm not studying, and I don't have any purpose for out of reading these things. I just fill my time every day, and I just feeding myself with some refreshing feelings out of reading these fun stories." And actually, that was my exact sentiment at the time. In hindsight, it helped me really great deal of something. I through that practice, right? Every day, I just when I woke up, right? I don't just think about the whole daily work piled up to wait for me, right? I just think about the storyline, the next storyline, after they didn't finish, that kind of anticipation for the part I haven't read yet. So it was different kind of sentiment every day, not for the burden about the daily physical work, but some anticipation for the unread the storyline, right? So I was able to, speed up to finish my daily routine as soon as possible, right? Very energetically. And then once I finish my daily routine, I just start reading the unread part again. So this way can be refreshed and can be really anticipating something for the next stage, right? So that was a really good part. And it went on and went on like this till my some sort of void about myself, about my future. Right? So it was a really good practice I have ever done in my whole life to cope with anxieties and doubts about my future. It was great help, really. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.